Many of us are stuck at home for the first time in a very long time, and it's a really worrying feeling for some of us. And a lot of us are probably feeling stressed right now, worried about our employment, worried about our families and our health, wondering what's going on outside, and our only connection to it is the media and our social media feeds. And of course, that's going to create stress because it's not a good picture right now. So if you're feeling like that, I wanted to give you some activities you could do at home while you're stuck inside that will make you feel like you're in control, and do some financial housekeeping, which will set you up better for the future, whatever that future might be. So if you're interested in things like that, then listen in. I've got a few tips for you. The first one is to have a look at your expenses as they're sitting right now. This is really important if you're worried about your income in the future too. The sooner you get onto this, the better. Download your expenses for the last 12 months. Hopefully you've got a bank system that lets you do that automatically. And you might like to use an app to upload that data into if you don't like playing with spreadsheets. But have a look at the expenses that you've had in the last 12 months. Is there anything there that you could cancel right now? Anything you're not using? Is there anything you could put pause on? Can you look for cheaper alternatives? Is there something you can replace in there? Go through that now and start taking those actions early. The sooner you do it, the less wasteful spending you've got. And if you're concerned about keeping as many financial resources in your hands as possible, that's a great thing to do. So that's step one. The second thing you might like to do is some spring cleaning of your documentation. Now, this is the boring stuff that we always ignore because we've got no time. It's no fun. I know it is boring, but they are really important. And while you're in the house, why not get it sorted? A couple of things you might like to consider. First of all, what insurance you have. Have you got what you need? Is it the right level? And particularly, you might like to have a look at your income insurance at this point in time if that's been worrying you. The second thing you want to have a look at is your will. Do you have a will? Is it up to date? Does it reflect your current situation and your current assets? Is it notarized? And if you haven't got one that's notarized, I think we're going to see some creative solutions allowing you to do that from your home very soon. Is it stored in the right place? Have you communicated it to your loved ones? Get that in order, especially if you're at home with your partner right now. What a great time to have those discussions. The third thing you might want to have a look at while you're looking at your will is your enduring power of attorney. An enduring power of attorney has two implications. The first one is health, the second is financial. It basically allows someone to make decisions on your behalf, health decisions and financial decisions, if you're incapacitated. Say you're in the hospital, say you're in a coma, say there's some reason why you can't make those decisions. Someone else, a trusted member of your family, your partner, can make those decisions on your behalf. Making sure that you have an enduring power of attorney signed and notarized, and everyone knows where it is really important too. So get on top of that along with your will. The final thing you might like to consider on the paperwork side is a binding financial agreement, a BFA. BFAs can be enacted anytime, but we usually hear them called prenuptials because people tend to enter into them before they get married and start living together. But you can have one anytime. You might have been married for 50 years. You can have one now if you really want one. A binding financial agreement is a process where you set down how you're going to separate your assets if you split up. What's in and out, what counts as joint and what counts as separate. You can put anything you want in there. Your instructions are your instructions. And if a situation comes about where you split up, and there is some hypotheses that we're going to see an increasing divorce rate in Australia out of this, especially when you've been locked in your house with your spouse for a long time, you might like to have that agreement in place right now. And then you can just enact it if the inevitable or the unlikely does happen and you do split up. The final thing you might like to consider is treating this like a mini retirement. Now, that might sound a little bit arse about. This isn't exactly fun. We're not enjoying ourselves here. But the purpose of a mini retirement is to have real time off, where you no longer have a schedule, you don't need the alarm clock, and you get to spend your time how you choose. This might be the first time that many of us have had that experience, and what a wonderful opportunity to test run a mini retirement. Now, yes, there are some constraints on what you can do. You can't go travelling right now, except for maybe virtually, taking a tour of a famous museum or something like that online. You can't go visiting other countries, and you can't probably go travel to see your family, but you do now have discretion over your time. What would you have done during a mini retirement in normal circumstances? Would you have tried to learn a language or an instrument? Would you have written a book? Would you have learned how to draw properly? All those things you could be doing right now. So why not try thinking about this as a mini retirement and see if that helps your mindset and allows you to make use of this time. There's heaps more tips in a blog that I've got for you, 15 in total. So if you'd like to read that, please follow the link. And I'm wishing you all the best of luck with your family and your health. I'm Lacey Filipich from Money School.